Hi everyone, thanks for watching. You can support our work on our website ageoftruth.tv. And please like our videos, subscribe to our channels on YouTube, BitChute and Brighteon. And remember to hit the bell for notifications. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook. To be sure not to miss any of our shows, you can sign up for our newsletter on our website ageoftruth.tv. Hello, Chris.
How are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear, and I can hear you too. Great. Great to have you on.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, that's cool.
That's gonna be nice. Where you are in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where in Canada is it?
Alberta.
Alberta, that's right. That's right, yeah. Great. All right. Well, I have you through here, and it's amazing, and I can hear you loud and clearly, and you have a good picture there, also with a great story cover background right there.
Yeah.
So just give me a second. I'll turn on the camera to the studio where you can see Lucas, and we will get you through so we can do the interview.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Age of Truth TV. I'm Lucas Alexander in Copenhagen, Denmark. Our special guest today is a French-Canadian gentleman who claims to be one of the infamous Montauk Boys, having been part of the Montauk Project, been under trauma-based MKULTRA mind control programming, having gone through the most horrendous and terrible experiments and experiences. He also claimed to be one of the more famous Montauk personalities, Duncan Cameron, and he has published a book entitled The Montauk Boys, Terror at Montauk. Christian Laterreur. Good evening from Copenhagen, Denmark, and welcome to Age of Truth TV. Please like our video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell for notifications. We have a really fascinating guest today, a gentleman who claims to be one of the Montauk Boys, having been part of the Montauk Project and gone through trauma-based mind control programming. And he has such a story, and he has a new book out called The Montauk Boys, Terror at Montauk, The Last Moments of Camp Hero and MKULTRA Wildest Experiments Known. That's quite a title, and we go to Alberta, Canada, and welcome on the show, Christian Laterreur. Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me on your show. Yes.
Great. So, in your book, you begin stating the following. I, Christian Laterreur, also known as Duncan Cameron, of full age and sound mind, make the following statement of my own free will under oath, fully understanding the legal implications and submitting a sworn affidavit. Really, Christian, you're Duncan Cameron, the rather famous personality from Montauk?
Yeah, like Preston Nichols had the brilliant idea because he met a guy named Duncan Cameron, and he had the brilliant idea of making him pass for me. The guy, like the age wasn't fitting at all. The guy would have been like 30 something years old in the cages with us. We were all like kids, young kids when we were there. And yeah, I think just like because Preston needed to like build sci-fi around my story to release it, because like it's not something you can release easily, like experiments like that from the CIA. So but yeah, like uh, this Duncan Cameron anyway wasn't like the only thing his name was Duncan Cameron, and like Duncan Cameron was a alias that I had to use there in case we were being interrogated. We all had like other names to, so because we knew when we were brought there that the place would be hard and all, and so like that's why I got that name. Like we all had like different names to use
But
there.
so it's like an alias. It's not
Yeah,
real. You're not really the real Duncan Cameron, whoever he really was. I mean, he's famously known for being associated with the Montauk Project and being
yeah,
there, and you say it's a CIA assigned identity since
yeah.
1983 or what, during the MKUltra Montauk formation. Please explain that.
Yeah, like well, I was recruited at the age of 6, okay? Me and a few of my buddies, and um we were with like a kindergarten, like and we went to a exhibit of like a job fair. People were talking about their jobs, their trades. They had like little booths with tables and stuff about their trades. The last booth was military and cops. They had guns, drug samples, and like army recruitment papers and stuff. And they asked us if we wanted to participate in a secret project. They gave us some like checklists to fill out. We filled them out with our kindergarten teacher, and like she was there. Are you sure? Because we all wanted to be badass with like because like there were like spies, assassin, uh, mercenary, black ops, all those, and like we all wanted to be that, like me and my friends. So we all filled that with our teacher, and after like they gave us papers for our parents. From there, like I brought this to my mom, and if she was okay to sign it, and we would have an appointment with the CIA, the military, and the cops, and people from the school. So yeah, I brought that to my mom. My mom was working actually with the cops in the same office, so she knew them, like, and I think she trusted them. So she signed up, and she signed me up, and we had an appointment with John Gittinger, the chief recruiter of the CIA in Montreal, like well, everywhere, like many countries. So yeah, like from there, like they were explaining to my mom that like would be done through light traumas, but like I would be like I wouldn't remember anything with the help of hypnose. This would make of me a genius, like because they would synchronize all my brain, like instead of half the brain that works. And yeah, like they were all around my mom, spinning her head, like a team of salesmen on somebody that wants to like sell something, like so yeah, they were all like talking at the same time, like so they got a lot of kids in my area for the project Monarch. So because like Montauk, like the Montauk Boys were like a sub project of MKULTRA and of of Monarch. So anyway, the CIA bought a school in my area. They paid $1 for it. It was abandoned, so they had to refurbish it. They refurbished it. They bought the little church in front as their CIA office, undercover office. And from there, uh, like some staff from the CIA were coming to train us, like certain days, and we like they would separate like the rest of the class that weren't in the project. They would separate them and like send them to like field trips or movie days or stuff like that. And yeah, people from the CIA were coming to teach us a bunch of stuff. Like the formation lasted 6 years.
You're saying that they were recruiting you while you were at your kindergarten. You were at this
Yeah,
school or whatever, and there was a stand, this table, and the CIA was there to recruit you and other boys. I mean, they were just doing that in broad daylight, and your mother
well,
just said, "Oh, how wonderful! I'm going to sign my son up for this thing." I mean, that sounds a little bit
it was the
far-fetched,
cops.
huh?
It was the police that was and the militaries. Like you didn't see a CIA there, like on the spot. But like when we went to the appointment, there were a little like stand, like with a card, and it was the logo of the CIA. So like I remember saying to my mom, like, "Hey, mom, like CIA, that's like the FBI, like the police." I was a kid, like so.
And your mom was associated or working for the police or what? And she or what did you just say before that she was working for the police and she thought
Same
this was a
office.
wonderful idea or what for you to sign up for something that she didn't know anything about. Sounds a little bit
Well,
scary.
she trusted them, like, because they were co-workers. She was seeing them daily, and like, it's the nicest people, like the nicest two-faced people. Like, that's really how they are. Like,
So why do you think they wanted to recruit you for the Montauk project eventually? I mean, what kind of special skills did you have in order for them to be particularly interested in you at such a young
psychic
age?
psychic powers, and also like I don't know if like because I had a surgery like at the same time pretty much as I got recruited. They remove a second row of teeth that I had. Like I had like two rows of teeth. Like so I had a surgery for that, and like so I don't know if it's like because of my blood or like like my genetic or whatever. But yeah, like
So was
and
that like an
it's
abnormality that you had two rows of teeth? This was your baby teeth or what? I mean, this was before you had your grown-up teeth, right?
Yeah, yeah. So they had to remove them from my gums and all because, like, a bit like the Anunnaki, like, they had like two rows of teeth, like, so.
So what about, but you were not the only one, the only boy that was recruited at this time. How old were you? 5 or 6?
6 years old. Yeah,
Okay. So why that place? That was in Quebec, right?
yeah.
Why? I mean, did they do that in many kindergartens or schools around just in
Ye-
America and Canada,
Oh,
or was
yeah.
it specifically that place you went to because of
No,
you?
there were many places, different places. Like, yeah, it wasn't like the staff from the CIA that was coming to our school to train us were coming for like a week sample to our school, and after going to another school, and like so
And did you sign
the,
a non-disclosure contract or something that you were not allowed to talk about it? Because if a lot of people is exposed to this and they recruit a lot of children around the country in America and Canada and maybe in Europe, I mean, eventually somebody would talk about it and not just
yeah.
40, 50 years later.
Um, a lot of the kids died in this project. Like I remember from the first year to the second year, half the kids were gone in my school.
And
So
nobody,
like
none of their parents went out publicly and said these police people that eventually was CIA, they recruited our sons, and now they're dead. So
yeah, three
something must have
hundred
happened to
thousand
them.
dollars later, like because it was $300,000 dollars that like they were giving if we would die. So
So they gave $200,000 to the
300,
parents,
300, yeah,
$300,000.
yeah.
So the parents said, "Oh, they died, so we're not going to prosecute them or talk about it publicly."
Well, like if they talk about it, we're still dealing with the CIA. They're not dumb. From like when I got recruited, we had an agreement. I couldn't like talk to my mom about what was going on. She couldn't ask me questions, and I couldn't talk about it. So like that they made it clear, and like and they were coming to pick me up like sometimes, and yeah, like she had no word or from that point, like that she signed me in.
So the parents to the dead children were threatened not to speak publicly. Well, do you
Oh
think that?
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Like yeah,
Uh-huh.
like
So why do you think you were special? I mean, you obviously survived. You're here talking about it now. You've written this book, and there's actually a lot of people coming out claiming to have been part of the Montauk Project. And more so than ever these days, there's a lot of people talking about it. I've met quite a few now. And so, I mean, why suddenly you retrieve these memories and having gone through all of these horrendous experiences. But a lot of mind control, trauma-based mind control, happened from a very early age, like at the moment of birth and maybe even before, and certainly during infancy in the early stages. But you were recruited at 6. That means you had a lot of years without mind control, without the programming, or what?
yeah, I guess so, because like and I'm not the only one, because like I said, we're a bunch that got recruited at the same time, like, and I still have a bunch of my friends that are still alive. So uh yeah, it's not just me that was like that. Anyway, in my area, in my case, it was like that. And
So you can mind control and brainwash a child of 6 and older so that their memories become compartmentalized and they can
yeah,
no longer they're like creating these chambers within the mind
yeah,
so that they cannot remember what the other alter was doing or did. And that
exactly.
can also happen at a later age, which is what happened to you then.
Yeah, well, yeah, from 6 years old they started. A lot of the experiments were with LSD. Like from 7 years old, uh, we had the first time was we had a class group of 10. We had flyers for Disney and all. They brought like Michael Aquino brought a plate with little like a pre-dose banana LSD shots and like little juice, sour juice to like pass it after. And so we all had a cup and like there were two left, and because like it was just standing behind my principal, she was like distributing them, and like there were two left, and me and my buddy Steve, hey, can we have those? And like she just and he hugged the head, and yeah, me and Steve like took the two extra dose. We were stoned. Like yeah, that's my first like LSD trip, and they gave us a kaleidoscope to look in it. And we had to find a face. Uh, Also, they put like Wizard of Oz, a movie of Disney, and on the TV, and yeah, that was the first LSD experiment. And after a while, I was laughing too much. So yeah, my principal got me out of the class to bring me to Ingrid, the nurse that was doing our ear tests, because like they were doing always those tonality tests, like ultra low frequency, just to get us used to always the same tonality. And so as we're getting out, Michael Aquino is coming down from the stairs. And like I was laughing actually with Steve about Aquino's look, because he had those big eyebrows and like the Dracula haircut, you know. So and like who comes down the stairs when so I start laughing and I fold into, and my principal just slapped me behind the head and like stand straight, like because he was important. He introduced himself, and I was like biting my tongue not to laugh, kind of thing. And at some point he just moved his to make me laugh, and I just started bursting of laugh, and everybody started laughing at the same time.
You're already saying now that you were exposed to or met General Michael Aquino,
Oh yeah,
who was the creator of the Temple of Set, and
yeah, I
obviously a
got a scar
military
from him.
person, quite famous in mind control and satanic circles.
Yeah, he cut me here with a Nazi knife. He cut us all here, and we had to bleed like in a ritual another time
But I mean,
under a
what now,
church.
now you're moving maybe a little bit ahead because when you
Okay,
were recruited, then
yeah,
you already met Michael Aquino and all of these other people. You all also talk about having met Dr. Green, which famously is Joseph Mengele, the Nazi
not in
program,
our
right?
case, not in our case. Our case, like Dr. Green, and this was just at the end of like the certification. We all had to go and see him at the end of school, and yeah, like it was Reinhard Heinrich. Like he faked his death in 1940. The Butcher of Prague. He was the chief of secret services for the Germany, and yeah, like he's the one that like so yeah, we were used to like go cut the grass and clean their pool to a bunch of Nazi in my town that were like part of Paperclip.
What was
Yeah,
the name again? I didn't get that.
Reinhard Heinrich, like the Butcher of Prague.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So and he was the one calling himself Dr. Green, not Joseph Mengele.
Well, we had to call him Dr. Green because, like, saying his name and like from a French was kind of complicated. So, like, that was kind of a code name, or I don't know. Like, but we all had, and like, we all have that memory because, like, at a space there were like a bunch of butterflies in glass cases all along the wall, and like, he had like a gold cane with an eagle, and yeah, like that's we all have that memory. Like all my friends all have that memory. Like that was when once we were certified. So
And you know that it's not Joseph Mengele because a lot of MK Ultra survivors have talked about Dr. Green, having met Dr. Green,
yes,
been programmed by Dr. Green, and that it was Joseph Mengele. But
yeah,
there
not
may
in our
be many
case.
Dr. Greens.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because like in our case too, it was Dr. Green. So I think it's just a code name used for the programmers or like
Right, a code name like you
yeah,
were named Duncan Cameron, but you're not really Duncan Cameron.
yeah.
Okay. So, what year are we talking about here? When were you born? When were you recruited? What year?
Okay. I was born in 75. I was recruited in 81. I think I finished in 87, the Monarch formation. And after it was just like coming to pick me up from school to go do other tests, like but not like the steady formation, like the 6 first years. Like after like the day before we went to see Dr. Green, we all had our like CIA ID with our like insurance paper. Like there were like probably 10 clause on this, up to 300 grand. And like, some people would cut a hand or like, and like all different amounts. And yeah, we couldn't like even, we all had like a number, like our asset numbers. And we couldn't say our asset names or our asset numbers to our friends. So like we had to go right away and give this to our parents. So which I did, and yeah. So my mom
And
probably
supposedly or famously, or at least publicly, um, Joseph Mengele died in 79 and you were recruited in 81. So maybe they had a new Dr. Green out there, or maybe there were many, just to establish that for
I
people.
recognize Dr. Green by pictures of old Germany, and that's how and like and Diamond helped me like and like she found out that like because he had an attempt on his death and he faked his death like there were nobody in the tomb and all. He just like started the paperclip like transfer and all and like so he was a chief of intelligence. So for the
Right. And in 81 already you met General Michael Aquino also.
yeah, 81 or 82, I think, because I was 7 years old, like the group class. And after, like we had a calendar, And my mom was giving me like LSD the days we had training for psychic training. Like she was giving me a drop on the tongue, and I was leaving to school, and
Oh,
yeah, like
your mom gave you LSD on your tongue.
yeah, like those days of training that we were doing psychic trainings and stuff at school. So yeah, like she had like a brown bottle like with a pink thing, and she was giving a calendar too, like those days that I needed to take this, and so yeah,
Oh, how
that's how
lovely.
it
I mean,
worked.
she was part of it, really, when you think of it. Or do you think she was under mind control as well? Do you know if your family was part of a
She got
satanic
blackmailed.
cult?
No, like like she got blackmailed into this. Like I think every parent that got like to give their kids were promised a lot of like nice things and you know, a good future for the kids and a complete set of lies. And yeah, my mom got like just like from that's what they were doing, like making participating the parents in certain things, like just a little bit at the beginning, and like just, but like they can turn back, like against all those people that are all influent people, like in the because it was all important people, like so.
So a lot of people can be corrupted, even in regards to their children, and be manipulated and be lured
Yeah,
into this, be
they're expert
charmed or
at, yeah, but
seduced.
like imagine your parent and like there's a doctor, like a chief of like you know, like institutes and like that says, well, it's no, that's okay, it's just a tiny drop, like no. So uh, like she's taking the word, she was taking the words of like cops, of like high rank doctors, and you know, like they were investing a lot of money on me and all. Like she didn't like, you know, like look at it from her perspective. Because my mom stopped talking to me since I like released my story. You know, like
Did she
my
really?
dad is my dad is super proud of me. My dad is behind me and like 100%. Like yeah,
So your mom, which is also a little bit suspicious, she did not want to talk to you after you released your story and you've gone
yeah,
public about this, but your
yeah.
dad is proud of you. But where was your father during all of this time, during your childhood?
Well, my dad, like what when I was recruited, like he was working at James Bay and like was going a few months at a time and coming back. And when he came back, he really lost it after my mom, because like my son won't be like a MKULTRA experiment and blah 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 blah, because he knew a bit. So um the he grabbed all my stuff, he put it in the car, and like we left from my place. And at the city limit, my cop handler was waiting for us there, and he made him turn back uh, to and bring me back to my mom. And I was over a year without seeing him after, like, because like of what he did.
Right. And your handler was, I wrote it down somewhere. What was the name of your handler?
Oh, I had a few, but like I had like my cop handler, and like I had also Jack, that you know you see in the movie Montauk Chronicles. Like that was one of, but it's not the real Jack, but like he really look alike. And yeah, like he was coming home often to like help me like build my like my storage inside for my memories and all, and the bad stuff to put them in the lower files. And you know, like he showed me a lot of stuff, but like a lot of stuff was bad, and it's not all good stuff that he showed me. So, but yeah, like he was a satanist too. Like there were a lot of SRA in the project I did. And like, yeah, the funny thing is, I was brought there in the same car as Stuart Swerdlow, um,
I was
because he
going to
lived.
ask you about Stuart Swerdlow, whom I know
Yeah,
as well, and we've had him on the show. And of course,
yeah,
we've talked about the Montauk Project. He's one of the most famous ones to have talked about it and come out and explained what happened there. So you
yeah.
knew
He can
Stuart
testify
Swerdlow,
who I am.
and he would also know you now.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Like I tried to reach him, and like he blocked me. Like I think he's scared. Um,
Why did he block you? Why
we
did he?
were. I saw him a few times when in the through the project. Okay, and like I didn't recognize him on the spot because he like it's 40 years ago, like. But Ann Diamond like told me like he lived there. Like so, I checked on Google Maps. That's 15 minutes from my place, and I remembered all the traject we did to go and pick him up. Like what we talked about, like even the traject we took from his place to go after get another kid. Like all the conversation we had and all like so yeah, like it's getting real now, like it's not just sci-fi and like because I'm putting the real thing like I'm cutting the bullshit of sci-fi that like Preston and the other Duncan Cameron impersonator did, like like the stories and all. If the guy was there, like he would talk about the kids, what we lived there, and like not just like stories of astral projections and like stuff that he's saying. Like he would like put the accent on us because like what we lived there was pretty crazy. Like we were kept in cage at Campiro, like no just in underwears, like on concrete floors that were like super porous, and like uh, the place was dark. There were like militaries that were like probably on acid too, that were just like walking and like going to beat somebody or like grab a kid and bring him to the open room and like waterboard and like or like rape kids and uh, like in front of my cage because we were all staggered in those cage. Okay, like one cage was a kid, the other one was empty after another kid after empty, and like same thing in front, but like so that we weren't like kids in front, it was just the empty cage. But the way I was placed like on a corner of two rows of cage, and the other kid on the corner was hanged by a foot and like draining in a pan, like his blood in a pan, in the middle pan, and like that was just to scare us, like. But like, imagine you're 8 years old and you see this, okay? You're scared of looking at the kid. So, and I was trying to talk at my buddy Steve, okay, that is at the house was Pedro de Montoya. Okay, so I was, Pedro, but he wasn't even moving, like uh, at some point I even tried Steve, like no more, not more signs of life. Like I didn't know if it was dead, and like I didn't know if I was gonna get killed. Another thing that was also like because like with the tunnels, you had like this echoing sound, like you always hear a kid whining or crying or like uh, at some point, like I think the worst sound that I heard there was like I don't know how they brought it there, but they brought a pig inside, okay, and like they installed it in the middle of the cage row and of the hallway, and like they started butchering him, but like super slowly so that he would squeal. So imagine like you're in a dark place, like super cold, like all beat up, like that, and like you hear this pig squealing, like
That was for
yeah,
MKULTRA mind control purposes, right? Trauma-based mind
yeah,
control in order to fracture your mind and to install this fear of death and to be compliant and to, well, compartmentalize you, I guess.
yeah.
But did this happen from the moment that you went there and you were taken there to Montauk? Please take us to that, that first time that you went there. Please explain the Montauk base to us
Okay.
and then what happened.
I went there a few times actually. Okay, But like Jack was bringing me through the acid house. Like we were going in his black BMW, and like we were doing the ride because it was 6 hour drive from like where I lived to like Montauk. And so like we were doing the ride, and like he was bringing me to the acid house. I was installed in front of a like a tie-dye wall, and like till I like he was bringing me to the chair. Okay, but like the time that I went through the tunnel like everybody else and all, that was something else. Like like we got there in the middle of the night because like we left in the afternoon, so it was pitch dark. Like we parked around that. I remember like the 6 by 6 on that fence kind of thing. Like anyway, uh, we walked in a like a wood path, and like we went down a hatch. Like there were like metal rebar like all along, and so we all got down there. We at some point like they made us undress, and like we all piled our clothes, and like he put them in a half barrel that was kind of cut like and standing on something in the tunnel. Yeah, so and from there we walked probably 30, 40 feet, and like there were like two kind of entrance for rows of cage, and like he brought us in one, and like installed us in our cage, and we were already drugged when we got there, and like now they were just like giving us more drugs and like coming to scare us. Somebody like had a butterfly mask, and I went and said, "Hey, I recognize you because I was drugged." And like the guy just beat me up, like like kicking, like everything. Like I was bruised up, like badly, badly, badly bruised up. So
And
yeah,
this terrible incident happened in when you were taken underneath the Montauk base in the tunnels underneath the base, and you were put in these cages or in that place where all of these things were happening to scare you, and then you were beaten up very brutally by this man, whoever he was.
yeah, like military guys, because like it was not just one guy. Like they were walking, like they were always like like scaring us, or like taking a kid to the waterboarding, and like so yeah, like
Did you also witness some other children getting murdered?
no, like the kid that was hanging, like that's the only kid that I saw dead there, and I didn't see him get murdered. Like he was just like tied up by on the corner of two rows of cage, so that probably everybody would see it. So uh,
Like at the butcher.
yeah, kind of thing, exactly, yeah, and like
But why do
uh,
you think that some people say that they have witnessed other people being not only brutalized, but also being killed in the most horrendous way for these mind
yeah,
control purposes, and other people haven't, like you? What's the difference, do you think?
um, I'm not sure, like if there's a difference or it's just like a matter of luck. Uh, like supposedly 1% of us made it out alive of that project, like the Montauk part. The other kids are fucked or dead. So and like a big part of the kids who were dying were like through the astral projection because at Montauk we were brought there for the Montauk chair. Okay, this
Yes, and
was
we want to get to the Montauk chair in just a moment. I just want to know, what else did you go through that was traumatizing? You got beaten, which is terrible. Did you also get molested sexually or raped?
yeah, during the project, yeah, not at Montauk, but I saw other kids being, and yeah, so uh, yeah, that was like, and the military guys were really like brutal, laughing, aggressive, like like people drug, like to do this, and so like yeah, like just like the craziness of LSD. Like they were on LSD for sure too. Like
So is it possible that some people are used more for to be put under, I mean, put on drugs and LSD for that kind of mind control programming, and then others are more trauma based in a different way, or is it, or do you have to go through all of it when you go through these terrible things?
it's not all the kids that went to the same treatments. Like like a lot of the treatment I was like by myself, or like sometimes we were in groups. Sometimes, so depending of what, like and what they were and what you had, like the more aptitude, like the more qualification to perform. And so me, it was astral projection. I was like the champ at that. Like why I got sent to Montauk was they did a test. Like we were in a closed gasket full of water. Like the head was trapped in it, and like there were a two-way speaker on the cover. And once they were closing the cover, something was splashing us, like waterboarding. But like the mission of that, we had to go. In my case, through astral projection, go get two words on the chest of my handler that was he was holding them. So like I had to find them in the school, like a few miles away, uh, read the two words and like say them, and they would stop the machine. And like I'm the only one that did it that day. So that's why I was sent to Montauk, like through the cage and all, like that time. So
And did they know that you have had special abilities, psychic abilities?
yeah.
Or were you trained to have psychic abilities?
Oh, I was trained like like telekinesis, all kinds of stuff like that.
But
And
did
like
they know already when recruiting you that you had those abilities and you had the ability to be able to do all of this, whereas maybe other children are not able to do that? Or can everybody learn to do that or be trained
at
to
the
do that?
beginning, I remember one of the first meeting with John Gittinger. I was doing rounds, like all like and like it's kind of like the planet alignment that I was drawing without like knowing it. And he took the paper and like he was kind of that's something that yeah. Uh, and like he was so like probably I don't know like I don't know the reason why, but like I wasn't the only one, like like, and probably other kids had it worse than me. So like like I'm all in to like say the real things because like the Montauk chair was pretty incredible. Like uh, the technology of it was special. Like you were thinking of something and like it would appear as an hologram there.
Take us through that. We've had other people on talking about the Montauk chair, claiming to have been part of that. But I mean,
Yeah,
please explain to the audience, what is the Montauk chair? It was used for time travel and time loops, whatever, stuff
yeah.
like that. And you were taken into a special room that looked like what?
Oh, it was just like the basement of the radar tower, like in the basement, like because I was going on the one with the long legs, like a bit like a beach chair. The other one was more like a regular chair, like smaller, and it was probably 50 to 100 feet away, like kind of next to a column kind of thing. And yeah, like the big one was probably 30 feet from the elevator. So uh, yeah, like they were installing me there. Like the last time, uh, like the hat wasn't the same. Like it was a net, like a kind of a adjustable net, and like he was putting all those monitor, the same thing as the white hat before, but like this one was like kind of a fishnet, something like that.
So
Anyway,
please
so
just explain to the audience. You went into a special room, there was a chair, and you
yeah,
were they put a hat on you in order to
yeah.
do specifically what?
Well, that was to kind of read the brain a bit, like the and a bunch of monitors and
Like electrodes or something they put on you,
yeah,
or what?
yeah,
Yeah, to decode the brain waves, or what was it used
yeah.
for?
I was linked to a little like a monitor that was on the right side near my feet, like probably 6 inch by 6 inch, and there were also a computer in the back, like on the side where Preston was standing most of the time. Uh, Preston installed my ad, installed all those like suck on me everywhere, the catheter, because like I was there for hours at a time. So
And you're, of course, talking about Preston Nichols, who's a famous
yeah,
figure in the Montauk Project. He
yeah.
was also in some of those documentaries. Some people have said maybe nice things about him, but certainly I've heard a lot of people say a lot of horrific things about him. People have come out like you talking about what they went through. What was your experience with Preston Nichols? Was he a nice man?
Well, okay, I'll give like I heard about like stories about him like doing like abuse kids. In my case, that wasn't the case. Even that like after Montauk happened, the event in '83, probably a year after or something like that. I was at the flea market. I was just starting back to see my dad, and like who comes in the flea market? Preston Nichols, and he runs after me, Duncan, Duncan, Duncan. But like my dad's all like weird out, and like me, I'm still weird out, but like I recognize the guy, like so like you recognize me and I'm there, yeah, like so like he starts explaining like how bad the project was to my dad and all, and like so the guy was still like to do this to a parent when you're like with the CIA and all, like and saying how bad the project was, that like and how special I was, and he was doing a night psychotronic event or something like that, and like he invited us to that. It was like 5 hours away, like like he was there just to buy some electronic parts. So I'm sure like there's people that knew him in that time and before like he came out with the other Duncan Cameron and all. So like I'm sure like people that were in those events because like for sure he talked about that, because like that was so something big. We talked for a while, and like my dad remembers, and so like um,
So you did not have a bad experience with Preston Nichols like other people talked about.
he got me out
Do
of
you
the
think
chair.
they're telling the truth, these other people, about what they went through with him?
I'm not sure because like for sure like the project like was like I saw so many stuff that was going in this, and like at some point like yeah, they were blackmailing a lot of people, and like blackmailing like all kinds of shapes. So there's a possibility like that I'm not discrediting anybody, like, but like I can affirm what I live, what I like, like the guy like while the monsters were in the place and all, like the last monster was standing next to me, and like he was just waiting like for she was just the monster was waiting for Preston to kind of like take me out, and like she kind of just like moved to make him space, and like he unplugged everything, he got me out of the building, like
Okay,
but like
well, Christian, you're running ahead of me here, and maybe also the viewers, right? Already going to the
yeah,
to the case of the monsters and all that. So let's talk about the monsters so that people know what we're talking about. So this is on August 12, 1983. Am I correct? At the Montauk
yeah,
Bays, which was largely destroyed when several monsters were unleashed on the base, right? And one was
yeah,
called Junior. And you
no,
were there as a child, no?
yeah,
So please take us through whatever that is. We've heard Preston Nichols talk about it, and we've heard also Al Bielek talk
yeah.
about this, and
Al Billick
probably
wasn't there.
also Stuart Swerdlow.
Al Billick wasn't there during the when that happened. Like just Preston Nicole was there, Jack was there. There were militaries that were there. Stewart was there like that day. Like a few of my friends, like and yeah, like
To talk about
the
the
month
monsters, how many monsters were there?
six.
Was that cloned experiments by these people at the base, or were they ET aliens, reptilians, and other beings?
No, there were monsters of light, like is simple pure energy, because like okay, I'll explain how I got there and like the okay, like after being beat up and all, like at some point Jack came and got me in my cage and like okay, we're going to do the chair and after like I'm bringing you back home, like it's finished, nobody's gonna hurt you anymore and like so he brings me to the chair. So I got like probably, I don't know, like 500 feet, like something like that to walk in the tunnel, to like calm down from like not knowing if my buddy Steve is still alive, like because like I was always paired up with the same, so like they were twinning us kind of thing. So yeah, like uh, I they brought me to the chair. Preston installed the mask, the helmet, like also a mask, and like Jack was saying that the vapor I was breathing in the mask were ghost orchid, a flower they just discovered in the Everglades in the 1980s, and we're talking 1983. So it was a new flower freshly discovered, and ghost orchid epiphat. So yeah, and like he had the lotus, a white lotus in his hand, and like was saying that this was used since ancient Egypt rituals, like to and like just trying to calm me down to bring me to like go and do astral projection. But like I remember the chair was so cold, like I couldn't like. So at some point they gave me like a hospital top, like like the little game, like a hospital game. So just to cut between the stainless and like and my skin. So yeah, and they installed a purple portal that looked like a mirror in front of the chair, like really straight in front of me, and like it was like purple watery look, and the effect it gave was like you were it was kind of pulling you through it, like through astral projection, and that's how most of the kids died there.
So that portal, is it like what you see in Stargate, where there's this
It looks
watery
like
kind
it.
of thing that's
There's
moving, and
no,
then you go through it?
yeah, there's no whoosh. It's just like it's a watery look, the same aspect as but the purple and like in line in front of us, and we were focusing on this, and it was kind of pulling us into it. A weird feeling. So
And
it
did you
was
like
super easy.
fly through it or move
Yeah,
through it
yeah, like
without moving your body or what? I mean, so this happened
lifting through
physically,
astral
or was it just,
projection.
or what? Can I just ask this? So did this happen physically to you, or was it like on a consciousness level, not physical?
Well, I was sitting in the chair, but I was like traveling everywhere, like through time, through space, like depending what they wanted me to do. And that time, in 1983, the 12th August, the mission I remember was to go and open my gateway. So and like he would guide me back, like that everybody had a gateway, but like not everybody had the chance to go and open it, and like that he was gonna be next to me and guide me back so I wouldn't get lost. Because from the beginning that I like they taught us how to do astral projection, they told us not to go too far because we could get lost, and that's how kids were dying. Like we weren't getting back in the body was empty after. So and especially through this portal. So yeah, like so I was a king at it, but I was just going local in the schools around my place. I was doing it like I was like no brothers, no sisters. So like I was focusing on that project, on trying and like performing. Uh,
So astral projection was what you did there through that Montauk chair. Some people have said that they time traveled physically to ancient times, to the past and the future, in order to see what happened there, maybe to change something or to bring back information through that chair and through whatever portal or whatever they went through. But you did not have that experience. It was on an astral level.
Astral projection, and like everything I say in my book also, because my book is not only a book, eh? Like it's a sworn statement, like it can be used anywhere in court in the world. Like I made it and I'm ready to be interrogated on anything that's in the book, on a lie detector, on a live show. I'm not scared. It's all facts. Like, like I think people think it's a lot. Like, no, like I'm just, yeah, I kept.
No, we want to get to as close to the truth as we possibly can. Do you think that some of those people who claim that they time traveled to a different time period in the past or in the future, do you think that they were also, well, astral projecting or having an astral experience and not really
Yeah,
physically traveling to those places? Or do you think that
yeah.
they actually could
That's
do it and you were not uh, ordered to
I'm
do
not
it?
here to contradict anybody's stories or like whatever, but like personally, I'm one of the kid that went often on that chair. I know what I was doing there, and like it was astral projection,
So
yeah,
time travel is not part of it, and you were not
it's
part
not
of the time travel project that many people have talked about.
it's part of it, but like through at some point we had like a machine that we were looking in it, and we were seeing till the end of our lives. There were two machines actually. I talk about this in my book, and one was on a desk at school, and the other one they assembled it in the little church in front of the school, and this one like we were sitting in it, and those old Mayan hieroglyphs, of it looks a bit like a spaceship. He's sitting in it, like it had the same shape as this. The machine had the same shape as this, but with metal covering over it.
So this
Yeah,
is like seeing a live review or something. It's like seeing a projection,
of
and
your life.
through this induced this LSD and the drugs, you could actually go on this astral travel
Yeah.
thing and see all of that. So it was not physical, it was not real time traveling.
No, you were sitting your body was staying there, you weren't going as a kid, and no, I know in my case, I don't know, like everybody, but I know there's a lot of tales and sci-fi like inspired of my story, but the reality of it is the monsters came out. There's a portal that came out at some point, at Montauk. That's true. The
So through a similar portal like the one you were experiencing in front of the Montauk chair that you've been in many times, you say, through
yeah.
such a portal, these monsters emerged.
Yeah, but not through the purple portal, actually, because like when I did this, I opened my gateway and all. When I came back and I woke up, I was left by myself. Jack wasn't next to me. Preston wasn't next to me, and that's where I lost trust in Jack. And like all those memories and the code, because like when you're doing astral projection, you're super light. You don't feel nothing. But like when you wake up and the goriest part of hell, that you're cold, and you see that the guy that was supposed to guide you back so you don't get lost, is not there. I lost complete trust in him. And the reflex I had was to think of my home, like my little white blanket, and my because I had this sticker album, okay, with like glow in the dark sticker, and I was using this as my light at night. I was charging them at sun all day, and when I was going to bed, I was doing my little dome with my. I had a hospital blanket, white, and with my book, it was kind of glowing everywhere, just. So that was my. So I thought of that, but there's a light on the wall that started getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and like one of the monsters came out and like it closed it. it closed back. And after like a bit, like another like the light, it came out big. Another monster. There's 6 monsters that came out. They all took each their direction except the last one that stood behind me, next to me, like waiting till Preston like get me out of there.
So it's
Like
dimensional travel for these monsters. Can you explain who they were? Were they aliens, reptilians, or something like that? What did they look like?
like I had like exactly like my stickers. Okay, like there were a werewolf, there were Frankenstein, there were the Mummy, Swamp Man, Dracula, the Bride of Frankenstein. That was my sticker kit, and that's what came out. And like they were so bright, like it was hard, but like you were still seeing the but like they were like hard to look at, so powerful kind of thing. And
Yeah, but what you're describing are movie characters.
well, there, yeah, but that was my sticker kit. So it's not like I don't know if there's a movie of them or whatever. Like, but yeah, I had the sticker kit of them at that age, and like that's what happened. And like in the Montauk Chronicle, you see a flash of like probably 2 seconds of the real monsters. Like Preston is talking about the real monsters, and it cuts out. You had to know that, okay? And like
Who were these monsters? Where did they come from? What dimension did they come from?
I,
You,
I was still hooked up to the chair. I was like so I don't know if it's the chair that brought them or like me psychically. I don't know, but like
could
that's
it have been just an illusion? Well, within you because you were under the influence of LSD and drugs.
no, because like
A lot of
uh,
people see strange things when they're on drugs and on even on ayahuasca. People also see
yeah,
things.
I saw so much strange thing that like they closed the base, they abandoned it, they sealed the tunnels after like this happened. So like there's no if or maybe like I remember everything.
Didn't Al Bielek say that it was a reptilian that was unleashed there?
Yeah, and he said that like Duncan Cameron was his like brother too, and they also got out of the Eldridge USS Aldridge, and they had a lot of stories, but like
And they
all
were
like
not real. You claim that Al Bielek's story is not real.
well, I'm not like hey, like I don't know the guy. Like in my case, like he wasn't there at Montauk for me. Like I didn't deal with him. So, but like if I rely on like most of what they did, because like, and I don't blame them because like it's hard to get a story like that out from a CIA experiment and like without like adding sci-fi and like like creating stuff around it. But I'm here to cut the bullshit and put the accent on like what we lived there, the name of the kids that died, and like and that's what I'm doing in my book. So like I'm giving the real facts. I'm not like
But Al Bielek
saying
also claimed to be giving the facts also about going to the future and all that and what he experienced at
yeah,
Montauk. And Stuart Swerdlow knew him too, he
yeah,
claims.
yeah. And Stuart Wardlow, like he was there. Like I met him a few times too. Like when we were young during the project. I didn't see him. I think last time I saw him, we were probably 13 years old. So,
And
and he
now
was
he
older
does
than
not
me.
want to know you. Do you know why?
I think he's scared because like I'm the proof like that this is like like I don't
Yeah,
know
but
like
if you are a proof and you substantiate what he's saying and claiming, then that should be a great thing, unless you're claiming
yeah,
something
I
else.
I would think so. Like, and like especially that I testify and like I can say where we picked them up and all, like exactly the house and all, like he was there for because like they just moved to the US, but like his aunt took their old house and he was living at his house for the termination of the project. And like like the guy is just not genuine because like he would say the truth like and like there would be a bunch that would come out too because like I know a bunch you know so
So
That's
is it because you're saying something that is different from his story?
of I'm just saying the truth. What happened there? That's really what I'm saying. I'm not venting myself and all. Believe me, I had the craziest life, and I'm not boosting or like trying to pass. No, I'm giving the facts. It's not like a book like to show off. It's a book like to give the real facts. What we went through. My buddies, I have buddies that are stuck with lifetimes in jail because of that. Yeah, they tried to kill us. I got reanimated. My memory got erased with a machine. I had to go through a regression hypnosis to get back those memories and remove those hypnotic blockage and hypnotic suggestions that they had made. I got quite the story, but I'm no bullshit.
It's very fascinating reading your book and also the way you've structured it, which actually seems very concrete and interesting when you look at your book. I had a look at it, and it seems very sort of structured, maybe even more so than how you're explaining it here. But were you also treated by Dr. Ewan Cameron, who was a
No,
famous Canadian mind control programmer who is not related to Duncan Cameron, I think, but we heard a lot about him, and there were also some documentaries about Dr. Ewan Cameron and his experiments on people during the
yeah,
MKULTRA era.
because Ewan Cameron was the big boss of the CIA hospital, the Allan Memorial Hospital in Montreal, and I have a file there. So that's how I met Han Diamond, because through the action class against the CIA and the Allen Memorial. So that's how I met Han Diamond, and I didn't remember the Montauk part at that point. I remember the recruitment and all, but uh at some point on the 39th year, okay, so 3 years ago, the TV is on shuffle, and Montauk Chronicle starts, and I was so shocked, because they made it that I would recognize the thing. They gathered so much detail, and to see Preston and to see all the details they gathered in this 2 hour documentary. That was a masterpiece. Anyway, I never did contact anybody because I had found the movie good, but this was so shocking to recognize all this. I contacted Christopher Garetano, and he's the one that helped me come out with my story. He's the one that
And the gentleman you're mentioning is the filmmaker behind that documentary on Montauk, or
yeah,
what? Yes.
yeah.
So it was through seeing that that you suddenly, well, discovered that something was not right, and you remembered that you were part of it.
I had flashback of that place, of the cages and all, and because the reproduction they did was so close, to what it looked like. So yeah, just shocking. I was on shock. I couldn't even go to work for almost a month. Realizing all this, because already I remembered the MK project, but I didn't remember that part, and that part was really something else. Montauk was bad. A lot of people are talking about the sci-fi of it and all, but the the place was evil. The people were evil. Uh, we were there to explore the mind, to explore the time, to explore you know like uh anywhere in the space, we were explorers for them. So they were mapping everything, and yeah, that's the use they had for us at that time, I guess. So
So
yeah,
you also claim that you were abused as a child by a prison guard in Quebec and taken to a monastery of monks where you were also
yeah,
abused. But for
yeah,
what purpose? Were they pedophiles? What happened there? So
yeah. They were pedophiles.
you were sexually abused by these
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Why?
And just to trauma again, and just like it was a constant sometimes they were sending you to Disney, and sometimes they were sending you to pedophiles. So you didn't know what to expect. You had to be ready for any kind of situation. We couldn't complain about it. We wanted that, like we wanted to participate in this. We knew it would be hard, so like tough it out. So uh, that was
So these monks at this monastery were pedophiles and were
yeah,
abusing you.
yeah.
But were they part of the Montauk project, or was it those people at Montauk that took you there for the experience of living through this trauma?
I They gave a job to my dad actually, in that area, and I think a lot of the things are done through this, like giving a contract or something like that. And they gave a job to my dad, and I was going to work with him like I was a kid, like he was bringing me, and yeah, I think they all had this organized, like to to build more traumas, and because it was years of like traumatic events, like all the time, SRA or so. Yeah, it's hard to make sense of all this,
So you
but
had to go
yeah,
through mass abuse at the same time, or what?
it wasn't like all at the same time. We could have a year without something, and path something big, and a lot of the traumas were through SRA rituals too,
So you
this.
did experience and had to go through satanic ritual abuse as well.
Oh,
You talk also in your book about Uncle Anton,
yeah,
and you mean Anton Sander LaVey, who was
yeah.
the leader of the Satanic Church, of course, a very famous figure in the past who wrote the Satanic Bible. You had to call him Uncle Anton. How were you introduced to him?
They had a event that they organized in Rawdon, the first place of the OTS, like the Order of the Solar Temple, and it was a cult, and yeah, Michael Aquino was there, Anton Navi was there, there were a lot of people that were influent people there, and yeah, he gave me that book, satanic, a black book with a star on it, and yeah, he wrote a note in it, and the funny thing is, I could play with it anywhere all the time. It was my book, and I got it out while my aunt was home, and hey, wait a minute, and she pulled it out of my hand, and what's that? And my mom started saying, oh, we went to a book launching, just to lead her off, and but yeah, my aunt remembers that, uh, and at the time she didn't know who Anton Lavey was, because she said I wouldn't have left you there, never,
But
so
you were taken to this church or whatever this ceremony. But it was
yeah,
so
please.
was it a satanic ritual?
Well, yeah, they were doing satanic ritual. They also had a obelisk tower there, and I had to stand in it, and they were doing ritual from the underworld, resurrection from the underworld and stuff like that. And the tower was a obelisk tower with a green metal, and steps in it. And yeah, I had to stay in it while they were doing this. Uh, yeah, a bunch of stuff that happened there, crazy stuff. So and like that cult, a few years after, they had like 70 people killed, like families and all, like in Europe and Switzerland and Quebec, and there were like mass murders and suicide. They were killing like kids and all. They were looking for a kid hidden in one of the families that supposedly was the Antichrist and all, and that uh, uh, anyway, their Rosicrucian and all, so yeah,
But
that's
what happened, or what happens at those satanic rituals? Do they actually, are they able to
yeah,
summon demons or deities or
yeah,
reptilians
and
or whatever they call the
sacrifice
devil? I
kids
mean,
and
do you actually see actual figures appearing, manifesting?
well, I don't have the memory of that personally. Um, I I remember their face that they're pretty much demons. like, uh, but
So
yeah,
you
like it's
remember like Anton LaVey and
oh
Michael
yeah,
Aquino and
yeah.
those people, but you didn't see like deities or things manifesting.
No, no, I didn't see illusions of stuff or like probably the illusion was me, through me or something like that during those rituals, because that's why we were used vessels kind of thing. So
And did you see any abuse there happening at those satanic rituals?
they made us sacrifice other kids, to test us. So from a young
And
age,
did they make you do that as well?
yeah, yeah.
So
So
you sacrificed other children.
yeah, like when I was a kid, young kid, and playing with our brains, giving me the dagger and hurry up, because the more you wait, the more he's gonna feel it, and so because he was drug, and uh that's stuff that that's stuff that people should talk about more than space cowboys, it's nice that a sci-fi part, but we have to wake up to where that's reality, so yeah, we went through a lot. It's governments, it's militaries, it's the Freemasonry that's involved in this, the satanic cults, yeah, it's all important people that are two-faced, once and yeah,
So of course, a lot of
the
people have come out talking about these things and survivors of satanic ritual abuse, which is horrendous, and it's of course tied to mind control and all the trauma. But we also talked a little bit about the whole alien aspect, and apparently you did not see that at Montauk, but did you ever see or witness alien beings or
yeah,
extraterrestrial beings?
yeah, during the project I did, but not at Montauk. Like you said, me, in my case, it's underground Air Force base in Canada, like the Bagotville Air Force. There's a dump base there, and they were making us go through a store. They were moving a back kind of mechanical stuff. We were going through a spiral steps, and down, there were shop, electric elevator, automatic elevator that was going down super long, and the place is huge. You'd be people don't process how big this is, and down there, they were hauling us with they had green golf carts with flashers on the corner, and little wagons in the back. We're sitting in the back, and they were hauling us. We were crossing other people with other golf carts and wagons going the other way. And there's different sections. There's sections that there's big huge doors with they're white with black numbers on them, and there's other sections more rocky and all. The big doors are gray, and numbers are yellow on it. and that's like different sections that I went through in the dumb base.
It was a Canadian base, right?
Yeah,
And what was the name of the base?
Bagotville, the Canadian Air Force base.
Oh, well, so it's Bagotville. Is that is that
Yeah,
is
under
that
it.
it? Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Yes. And you were taken underneath this base, and of course we know that a lot of these military bases are incredibly huge, the
yeah,
enormous structures, and this is what you're describing. And how
yeah.
do you know how far below the surface you went?
Deep, 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 deep. That is deep. Like you have no idea. Like you just I don't know, like that. It wasn't just a small stairway. Like it was like long, like to go down. And there's those wagons, but like yeah, it's big down there. Like you have no idea what. Uh,
And there you saw alien beings.
yeah, like I had to. They brought me in a rocky section, like a darker section of like the underground tunnels there, and he had a table, a medical table, and I had to get naked on the table and lay down and like a kind of mantis being, and
A
yeah, it was
mantis
just
alien being.
yeah, and it was just touching me and so that's the memory I have of that.
So please describe what this praying mantis or mantis being looked like.
Uh, like a brown, kind of long, elongated kind of thing, a bit like a mantis. Yeah, it wasn't the years of Star Wars and all, and my handler was waiting next to me, but kind of the not in the same piece, but like don't be scared was talking to me. So no, no, I'm not scared, like it was like Star Wars kind of thing, I was trusting the project at that time, uh that was before Montauk. And they brought us up there, like we went to I was in the scouts. So in the middle of the night, we were on a field trip. They came to woke us up in the tents. We had to walk in the woods. There were two choppers that were waiting for us. They filled those choppers us with kids. We flew a night flight to Bagotville. That's where we got in the store and so yeah, and that's how I got brought there.
And how big was this mantis being?
Human size, pretty much. The height. Yeah,
And could it have been a human in some kind of a
it would have
in
been
some kind of a
skinny.
costume?
I don't know. It would have been skinny. The guy. Yeah,
So did they
yeah,
have like long, thin arms and legs, as some people
yeah. Kind
say?
of. So to be a human, like in the suit, yeah, that would have been hard. Like
So it seemed real, and
yeah.
you also claim that you have these psychic abilities. Did you feel some kind of frequency coming from this mantis being?
Well, more, yeah, we weren't talking, we were kind of telepathically linking, and yeah,
So did it
that's
speak to you in your
it.
mind?
Just with this mind, so
And
I
did
was
it
laying
speak
down
in
on
French? I mean, apparently they can speak in whatever
like
language people are
universal
speaking
language.
in.
Yeah, universal language. I think there's
And
no
what was the purpose of you being brought before this creature?
I don't know. Also before that, we had flight simulator, like a helicopter flight simulator that we had like 2 minutes each on it, and they programmed that reflex in us for helicopters, and also we all have stories with helicopters. So Yeah.
So does this confirm to you that alien beings exist?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah.
But but was that the only ET creature you ever saw in real life?
No, I saw another one, a gray one, but not at the same event, and this I don't really want to talk about it, but yeah, and also there's
Why don't
light.
you want to talk about it? We really want to talk about it.
Yeah. No, it's because uh there's something that happened in our school, and a bit in Africa, what happened, or I think it's in Africa or something like that. Like there's a spaceship that came in the yard, and the cops kept this quiet. Like everybody that weren't seeing it, they got put back in the school, and that's how I met John Mack. He had we had all a group consultation with him, and also each of us one by one we had uh, time with him to tell us what we experienced, and during this, because he came to school after that, to talk to everybody that saw the so
But why
yeah
don't you want to talk about that? A lot of people love to talk about such
yeah
experiences.
but
So
it's
so a
I'm not.
spaceship land. Let me just try to
Yeah,
recap this. A spaceship landed in your schoolyard, and you
yeah,
saw a gray alien being or several. Am I
yeah,
right?
yeah, like a one a gray being, and yeah, the vessel was kind of like chrome, transparent. Like half the school wasn't seeing it. So they put back all the kids and they kept everybody that was seeing it outside. We all and uh, uh we had chat. The police came and all. There were other sightings in the area at the same time.
So some people could see the spaceship and that alien being, and others could
Yeah,
not. So what? So it's
yeah,
certain people that have a certain frequency or whatever that can see these things, and other people cannot. This is not the first time I'm hearing about it. Two people standing next to each other, one person can
okay,
see the UFO and the other one cannot. So is that
okay, yeah.
according to your frequency?
I'm curious about that because yeah, that's a good question, because for sure, you're saying, if other people told you that too, I'm not an expert in aliens, but uh what I lived there, and the people that were in the yard and all, they separated us, yeah, that's I don't know if it's vibration, or I don't know. That's a good question. I'm curious about it. like
Yes,
uh
we've talked to other people that had similar experiences,
okay,
and some people can see it and other people can't, which is interesting
yeah.
in itself.
That's where, and why I'm not talking really about that is that I wanna expose what we went through, not the sci-fi, and that the militaries are working with the aliens and stuff like that, and that's not that's farther down the road, but my goal is to uh, put names and on the kids that died there, and educate the parents, the new generation of parents, how this is done, so that people don't give their kids to those kind of program of special class, and give them tools, knowledge to protect themselves, protect their families against this, because that ruined my family, that you know like uh, yeah, that was I don't have a good experiment from that. And that's my goal. I'm not there to boost Preston's bullshit that he invented. All the tales, the legends started from my story. I'm there to cut the bullshit around it, giving the real facts, and it's sad that hopefully you can talk to Stuart Swardlow, and like hopefully by he's gonna turn around at some point and because like that sucks. That doesn't come
But do
out
you
for me.
think some people may suggest that perhaps you were programmed massively through mind control, MKUltra, but also with false memory syndrome, which is also a thing. And maybe they installed these outlandish memories in your mind in order
That would be
to
hard
get you
because
to
I have
talk
all
about something that's not real. What are your thoughts on that?
because like they implanted memories in me, and I know how this works, and it's not that like it's really not because like when they it's not like implanting memory, it's like putting a frame of thought like once they erase your memory, they're installing a frame of thought, so like you're thinking inside of that. If you think about the project or something like that, you get tired, you get they put some tools to program so that you don't go and dig into it. And like this is how it's done, like the memories that they implant, like in my case was like I had the nicest childhood. I went twice to Disney, I couldn't remember anything that was important, and but they didn't specify if it was for like the project, for the CIA stuff, or like in my life. So from that moment after, I had trouble functioning in society. I wasn't remembering anything. Anything that was important, I was forgetting. So I think a lot of the people that are fucked up by MK Ultra are probably fucked up by like programming that was done like at the botch, those frame of thought, and they just damage a lot of people like this because yeah, once I like got the all this removed, like the hypnotic blockage and all, like wow, my life changed. Now, like,
So you definitely know in yourself that this happened and it's real and you're speaking the truth.
yeah, like my dad remembers like a guy running after us in the flea market, like to fucking tell him everything, so
But why didn't your dad say that to you during all of those years where you did not remember that you went through all of that?
because when I started talking to him about my memories, he told me, "I'm happy you're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel." So
So he knew.
because
He
he
knew.
knew, he knew, yeah, and like all this happened, like the memory, because in 2010, I was the owner of the Cimetière du Jeep. Okay, I had like a big Jeep shop. I was selling parts everywhere in the world. I started selling franchise. I had the first one open. There were six opening that year. I just bought a square kilometer land with a big building to supply all my franchise. I had 3.5 million in inventory. Like the business was worth around 15 million. And as soon as I started asking questions to my mom about the project, about that test at the Allan Memorial, all the needles on my head, and um, they didn't take any chance. They set us up. All my group got arrested and for crazy charges. They tried to kill us. Uh, like no bullshit. Check my friends. In the book. Yeah, it's what happened for real. I'm cutting the sci-fi bullshit and all. Uh, that's the truth.
What do you think will be the takeaway for people from your book and also address the state that we're in 2025? I mean, this is the crucial time on the timeline really that we're in right now. What is your best message for people watching this right now?
Watching your kid, don't trust the government. Get in, go and surprise visit at the schools to see what's going on. Like read the book and check a bit because they use a pattern. Okay, they have a winning formula. Okay, they recruited thousands of kids like that, and it works. It works good. it's like a snowball effect. Like and like it grabs everything on its way, like like it bigger and bigger and bigger. So, but there's a pattern to it. There's a technique, and like that doesn't differ much. And people will recognize some signs through schools, and like that's what my goal is to avoid this to other kids. Like like uh, fuck, not a kid deserved to go through what I went through and what my buddies went through. Like I lost a lot of buddies through this, and like yeah, like it's just to educate people, like 'cause we trusted them, and that's what happened. And like that's my story, and like now like they're using my story everywhere, like for movies and stuff. But uh,
Well,
yeah,
you
like
claim that this is the true story behind Stranger Things.
yeah, like that's the origin of Stranger Things, because like they were supposed to be calling it like Montauk, and it's because of the monster, and like that's my story. What happened to me there, like the last day at Camp Hero. So, like yeah, like and if people think that like the other dude that was 30 something years old, like in '83, was in the cage with us, the kids, and like everything I say in the book is backed up with people, because like I know people from uh, all along my life, and like there's people that can testify. Like I even have like a honoring letter from a judge, a superior court letter that is honoring me. So like that's pretty rare. Like they don't do this much. Like it's one or twice in a career if they do it. So like yeah, people you judge like if you want to listen to the sci-fi version, or if you want to have the real facts, like and like protect your kids and like protect other kids, not just yours. Like that's the goal in a way. And my website, Terror at Montauk, has a lot of terror at montauk.com has a lot of information on MKUltra, not just my case. Like my book is available there as a pre-release, but like there's a lot of information like on MKUltra, different projects and all that people should be aware of, like because somehow like everyone is under a kind of a mind control at different level, like because of all the system they put, and like I'm trying to wake up people and help people. That's my goal, like my
And
genuine
if
goal.
people want to purchase your book, and it is definitely a very fascinating read, they should go to your website. Is that the best way to get it?
Yeah, because like I tried to release it on the like Amazon, and the next morning I was banned for life, even from opening an account. Like they
Really?
published it for half a day, and like they banned me for life from opening an account, even like not even a chance of maybe or no. So that's just an example, but yeah, like
Wow, that sounds remarkable, really. A lot of people who are writing, let's just say, otherworldly things are certainly on Amazon, but this is
yeah,
very
there's
suspicious,
worse books,
obviously.
but mine is really crude, the truth, like and like it wasn't supposed to come out, but now it's out. Like they tried to kill me, okay? Like I got reanimated, like uh that's why I'm jamming a lot like that when I talk, because like I don't know how long I was dead, like before they reanimated me and all, and like so like they weren't expecting me to come back from where I was to like expose this, like uh yeah, yeah,
But it's
sure.
been absolutely fascinating and very mind-blowing to hear your story. And I want to thank you so much for being on Age of Truth TV,
Thanks.
Christian Laterreur.
Yeah, you have a good pronunciation of it. Like usually people are having issues saying my name. Yeah, and like if you translate it, like it's the terror. La Terreur is the terror. So that's my family name. So I don't know
Wow.
if it's related to.
That's very interesting. And the book is also called The Montauk Boys, Terror at Montauk. So that is
Yeah,
actually also you, huh?
yeah, like yeah, super, and I'm happy you ask all those questions like that and all. Like that's cool. Like,
But thank you so much for being on, and have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again.
thank you, thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you so much to Christian Laterreur, and thanks to all of you for watching Age of Truth TV. You can support us by clicking onto our website, ageoftruth.tv. And please like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell for notifications. You can sign up for our newsletter on our website, ageoftruth.tv as well. Please also subscribe to our alternative channels on BitChute and Brighteon. Your support is greatly appreciated and very needed. And on behalf of the Age of Truth TV team, we thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.